Okay, Rosa, the chancellor's here. Rosa's having some technical issues with her computer.
The Zoom is about to start. The live is about to start. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We hear you.
We hear
Thank you.
you. I'll be admitting everyone as everyone else talks to make it easier.
Okay. All right, Rosa, you want to get
Thank you.
started? Rosa,
Yes.
you want to get
Okay,
started?
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Good morning, everyone. Apologies for the delay. I am having major internet problems right now. Uh, excuse my little laggy right now. I'm gonna pass it on to Randy. Randy, do you mind please taking over?
Sure. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to get the attendance link in the chat. I know the chancellor's here and she is on limited time, so we're going to just introduce Chancellor Melissa Aviles Ramos. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. So great to be with you this morning. And I apologize. I am in the car en route to the city and state conference where I will be giving remarks and updates about last year and kind of a preview of this upcoming school year. So thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Randy, and the entire CPAC for having me here. Can't believe it's almost time to go back to school. The summer flew, and we've been doing a lot of work to get prepared. So I'm very excited for what the new school year will bring. And I want to share a few updates. We successfully revised Chancellor's Regulation A413, which means we are on track to meet the state mandate around distraction-free schools. We launched a new web page, schools.nyc.gov/device policy that lays out the details, FAQs, etc. So please spread the word about this resource. Take a look at it if you haven't already. And now we are providing support to school communities to develop their school-specific device policies so that they are ready to go by the first day of school. One of the ways in which we're preparing is making sure that we're very clear on the disciplinary action for students who do not comply. We do not want to see students being suspended just for being seen with a phone. The law was very clear that that is not acceptable. We want to make sure that schools are not taking disciplinary matters in their own hands and that they have lots of specific guidance on how to navigate these situations. I feel strongly about this. Michael Mulgrew feels strongly about this, as does Henry Rubio. So please know that we continue to support the entire rollout, but particularly those pieces. And so we need your partnership on this work to ensure the rollout goes smoothly and that parent voice is at the table. We also have exciting news to celebrate regarding our test scores. Our kids made tremendous strides and we are so proud of them. Proficiency rose 7.2 percentage points in ELA and 3.5 in math. We're especially glad to see gains for our Black and Latinx students. This is huge. These are historic gains for those two populations of students. And in our New York City Reads grades, double-digit increases for grades 3 and 5 in ELA. We beat pre-COVID scores. Of course, the work is not done. And I want to be clear when I say that this is not a time to rest. As a matter of fact, this is a time for us to be motivated to do even more. We still have concerning gaps among student groups, and we won't be satisfied until we are supporting 100% of our kids to reach their fullest potential. But this is a big step in the right direction. I'm immensely proud of the educators, school leaders, and families who made this possible. So thank you all to you. And especially want to shout out and congratulate our students on their hard work. And a very special thanks to Dr. Donica Rux, Dr. Mia Pete, Ailish, and Emily, and the entire DSL team who really supported this work. To me, the data signals that we need to double down even further on New York City Reads and Solves. These initiatives are working, and we need to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you so much. I'm happy that I'm here to give you these updates, and now I turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. We appreciate you being here. We know August is a busy time. Everyone's getting ready to plan to open up, and we appreciate you being here. Do you have time for questions? I don't know if you're...
Yes, I have a couple minutes for a couple questions.
Okay. I know one important question that parents had was the cell phone policy. Will the principals be working with their SLTs to make sure that it's a policy that everyone is, as much as can be, agreed with?
Sorry, couldn't get my mute button. Absolutely. My expectation has been that SLTs, not only for the cell phone policy, but implementation of any policy, SLTs need to be respected and real functioning bodies of the school. And so Christina and I continue to have our ambitious goal of visiting SLTs together. And Dr. Rux called me from vacation, and she also wants to join those visits. We want everyone to know that we are very serious about this work this year. So again, I rely on all of you where we know that we do not have active SLTs, or we have SLTs, but they're not really functioning, or there are issues that are breaking the SLT down. I need to know that so we can continue to prioritize. We started this movement at the very end of last year, so it was really hard to make a dent. But I want to start the year immediately prioritizing this. So please let me know where that's not happening. And the cell phone restriction is just one great example of why SLTs need to be working together.
Thank you. If you have a question for the chancellor, please use the raise hand feature on the screen. Adriana?
Good morning. Good morning, Chancellor. I'm going to make it really quick. Thank you for your time here. But from my understanding is the policies will be made and presented to the SLTs in September for the first meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah. Unfortunately, because we had to get a policy to the state by August, it doesn't leave schools a lot of time to design their own policies with the SLTs over the summer. So yes, that does sound right to me, but that doesn't mean that that policy is not a living, breathing document and that your input isn't at the table to make changes. So I want to be very clear about that. We would have loved more time for the state, was not happy about that timeline. It is what it is. But please know that the adjustments and the feedback that you have must be taken seriously and should be adjusted accordingly, so long as they're in compliance with the actual law. And if there are any issues, you should definitely flag that here where you're hearing those issues. We can also make sure that the borough safety directors are working in close concert with the schools to help finalize any of the policies.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. Maybe this would be a question from Mark about schools. Is there going to be, I know there's a school safety agent shortage, but is there going to be anyone at the schools, especially for like the first few days, with phone collections happening, schools that scan and usually look long lines? Is there going to be anything there for the schools to get any kind of support?
Yes, thank you for the question, and good morning, everybody. So, such is the case at the start of the school year every year. The additional school safety agents, like the special services units, are going to be deployed out to the field to help support where we're seeing longer lines. As you would guess, every year at scanning schools, our freshman students are becoming acclimated to the scanning process as they're coming from middle schools that were not. So the expectation is that all boots are on the ground to help support, the back to school initiative with a specific focus on first time cell phone schools. So yes, that's the long way to say yes, absolutely. Everybody will be out to support our schools. So if you hear something, please feel free to elevate to my team and myself as well.
Sounds great. Thank you. Okay. So it's 9:42. I just want to be on time with our agenda. Chancellor, thank you so much for being here. I know that you do have to go, so thank you so much for your time, and we will see you next month.
Thank you, everyone. Great to see you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm just trying to go back to the agenda. We do have the attendance in the chat. If everyone could just please fill out the attendance form. And then we are going to move on. Where is my agenda? Sorry, I was not prepared to lead this meeting and my computer is moving. Okay. So CPAC business and updates. Rosa, do you have, are you able to share slides?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me try. Give me 1 second.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? It's 9:44. I see that Nicole Perry is here from New York City Kids Rise. I'm just gonna turn the floor over to her and then we'll go back to our roll call and our business. So Nicole, the floor is yours.
Good morning, thank you. And I will be, I'm Nicole Perry, I'm with NYC Kids Rise. I'm going to be co-presenting with Sabine Moore from the NYC Public Schools Office of Student Pathways. So she's actually going to kick us off. And am I able to share my screen?
Just make you
Your
co-host.
co-host.
You said yes?
Yes, Nicole,
Yes,
can you
you are
hear me?
co-host.
Yes, you are.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Can everyone see the slideshow?
It's not in slideshow view, but we can see it.
Okay, great. How about now? Is it a cover Save for College program?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And Sabine, are you?
Yep,
Okay,
I can
perfect.
get us. Great. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Sabine Mora. I'm with the Office of Student Pathways, and I am really excited to be here with you all this morning. Within our team, I sit on a vertical really focused on pre-K to 12 pathways foundations, and I'm joined somewhere in the audience with by Melanie Mack, who's our senior executive director for that vertical. Um, Basically, we work in partnership with New York City Kids Rise to facilitate the Safer College program. And so I just wanted to kind of kick us off, give a little bit of context for that work before passing back over to Nicole Perry to really dig in on the nuts and bolts. So if we can go to the next slide. Um, our work in the Office of Student Pathways really keeps students at the center by focusing on the most impactful strategies to support every student in developing a strong plan for their future. We really aim to equip students with real tangible skills that they can use throughout their lives and to create opportunities for them to explore careers of interest and areas of study while they are still in New York City public schools, while they're still with caring adults who know them and who they have relationships with. And our work is sort of captured in these three areas overall. I think if you do give one more click, Nicole, I just want to highlight, oh, or maybe not, oh, yes, to highlight that those first two areas of strong plan and real skill building, those are happening starting from kindergarten. And the work that we do through our partnership with New York City Kids Rise and the Safer College program really is blurring the lines between the strong plan work and the real skill building work as we help families to really begin planning for their child's college and career journey super early, starting in kindergarten, while also building financial awareness and financial literacy skills, as well as the confidence that goes along with that. And so I just really want to underscore before even passing over to Nicole to dig in on Save for College, that this work is really about more than just saving money. It's about planting and then cultivating the seeds of possibility while we're helping families start planning early for their child's long-term economic success. And so to give a nod to the last items on the bottom, in terms of Head Start, when our students are further along in high school, these are places where we really incorporate early work-based learning kind of opportunities and connections so that they are, again, exploring areas of interest while they're still with us and have all the supports of being a New York City Public School student. Before I pass it over to Nicole, I just want to surface two asks. One, I invite you to listen to the rest of the presentation, really thinking about who in your community might benefit from this opportunity. As trusted leaders, your voices carry so much weight in our schools, neighborhoods, and across the city. And so much of this work is really predicated on deep trust and understanding the nuts and bolts of the program, how it works, and really using that to open doors for families who may not yet know about it or who may have questions about how it all works. So with that, I have just one last slide. Oh, yeah, perfect. Which is just an invitation to stay connected with us and follow us on social media, engage with us there. It's a great way to just stay connected, share resources, and amplify the work that we're all doing together. So thank you so much for the time, for everything that you do to support New York City Public School students and their families, and also preemptive thanks to Nicole for being here and talking more deeply about our work together. So I'll pass it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Sabine. And again, thank you all for having us here. As I mentioned, my name is Nicole Perry. I work at a new NYC Kids Rise, which is a nonprofit organization that was started in 2017 to manage the Safer College program in partnership with NYC Public Schools and the City of New York. And so I just really want to echo what Sabine said. You all are trusted leaders and your voices carry weight. And I think it's important that you are aware of this program and that through this public-private community partnership, what it means to be a New York City public school student, what that looks like, it's different today than it was before. Today, what it means to be a New York City public school student is that students have a financial asset invested for their college and career dreams. And they also have support from all corners of their community. And so the Save for College program is a scholarship and savings platform for New York City public school students starting in kindergarten. And the program provides families, schools, and communities with a way to work together to build assets and expectations of success for their children, our children's future. And the vision that you see on the screen is that all 1.1 million New York City public school students will have a financial asset for their futures and support along the way. So again, you all have a role in ensuring that your kids, your fellow parents, and your community are aware that this program exists and are taking full advantage of its benefits. And so just today, nearly every first, second, rising first, second, third, and fourth grader in New York City public schools has a NYC scholarship account, and I'll talk more about what that means. And kindergartners will receive, the new kindergartners will receive their accounts in January 2026. And so that means that there are more than 277,000 students, more than 250,000 students in New York City public schools across the city that now have money invested for their college and career futures with over $47 million accumulated to date. So that is amazing and something that we should all be celebrating and sharing. And this is across the city. Over 1,000, approximately 1,000 elementary schools are incorporating the program into their operations and how they work with families and in their goals around college and career readiness and family engagement. And this includes not just district schools, but participating charter schools. In addition to schools, you have businesses, government, civic associations, philanthropy. They're all also plugging into the platform to show their support for New York City public school students. And they're not just sharing their financial capital, but also social capital. And just trying to demonstrate to our kids what's possible and to show families that they're not on this journey alone. And so just to kind of give an overview of what the program is and what are the key components of the program, again, this was co-created through a process that engaged families, school stakeholders, CBOs, civic associations, and other public and private sector partners. It started in 2017 as a pilot in one school district in Queens, and now it's citywide. So how it works is there are three components. Eligible students receive an NYC scholarship account invested in a 529 plan, which has an initial allocation of $100. And then families are also able, if they choose to save on their own in a separate account. And there are different rewards associated with that. And then also the community, as I mentioned, is able to contribute in a number of different ways. One is called community scholarships, where they're able to financially invest in the scholarship accounts of a group of students. And then alongside this work, elementary schools are equipped with financial education lessons in the classroom that they can share with students. Families have access to the plethora of financial empowerment resources that the city offers. And just again, all of this together really supports this idea that New York City public school students have a financial asset, and that students and families have increased expectations for their students with support from their community. So in terms of, again, the components, the Save for College program, like I mentioned, empowers families to begin saving for college and career opportunities starting in kindergarten. So we believe it's never too early to start. And, small dollars do matter and they make a difference. But in terms of the foundational steps that parents take, the first step, when a child enters kindergarten in New York City public schools, they automatically receive the NYC scholarship account with that initial investment of $100 unless their family chooses to opt out of the program. So one of the key foundational steps is for parents to actually activate and view their child's scholarship account. And today across the city, there are approximately 38% of families, almost 39% of families have taken that first step. And that's something that I do want to briefly talk to you all about, of how you can help make a difference and ensure all families know that their child has this money and that they can activate and view their account. For each of these different steps that a family takes that we call building blocks, they can get an additional $25 added to their child's scholarship account. So on top of the initial $100. So building block 2, they can open their own account if they choose to. They can also make a first deposit of at least, or a deposit of at least $5 into their own account, and get $25 into their child's scholarship account. And then we do a savings match that $1 for dollar up to $100 in the child's scholarship account and after the first grade. So there are ways for families to increase the money that is in their child's scholarship account. And again, the idea of this is that the program is supporting kids to dream big and letting families know that they're supported, kids and families know that they're supported from their community. It's not about what one family can do on their own. And what this graph is meant to show is that it's through the collective actions that the funds in these accounts for students can grow over time. And here you see just an example of a student in the pilot district in Western Queens. But you start with that initial $100. You have several community scholarships. Again, this is when community is coming together to contribute to a group of students' accounts. You also see that this family opened their own account and started saving on their own, so they received a savings match. And over time, you see that this student, if you look at their scholarship account plus the money that their family has saved on their own, they had $2,600 when they graduated 5th grade. They had $2,600 already saved for their college and career future. Who's eligible right now? As I said, the program went citywide in the school year 21-22. And today and going into the upcoming school year, this school year, All kindergartners, first, second, third, and fourth graders are eligible to participate in the program. So the first through fourth graders starting the school year will already have their accounts unless their family opted out of the program, and kindergartners will be learning about the program when they come to school in the fall and will have the opportunity to get their accounts in January. And as I mentioned, in the pilot district, we actually have students in kindergarten through 8th grade who are eligible for the program in District 30. And so I will just close it with just kind of a bit of a call to action, but again, going back to your role and being a trusted voice in the community, we really want you to be empowered and be excited about sharing the information, being ambassadors for the program, and ensure that families in your community are taking full advantage of the benefits of the Save for College program. When we talked about that first step of families activating and viewing their account, I talked about a percentage of 39% of families having done that. We'd love for that number to be, and collectively, our goal is to have that number, that 50% of families at the end of their child's kindergarten year has already went in and activated and viewed their child's account, and 80% of families have taken that step by the end of their child's 5th grade year. And so ways you can be ambassadors for the program, you can spread the word. We have tons of resources that are very turnkey that you can share out, and I'm happy to share with folks and provide that. We also have a website with downloadable resources. You can also invite us and the Pathways team, street team, to events that you know K through 4th grade families will be present so that we can help share information. We can also send flyers and giveaways to share information there and talk to families and support them in taking that first foundational step. And then you can promote students' college and career going dreams through events and activities, and remind students at those events that they have this scholarship account, they have this support from their community, and that they have savings already invested for their future. And then as community members, there's ways for you to lead a community scholarship, to invest directly into a group of students' scholarship accounts and into their educational future. So there are a number of ways to get involved, and love to hear, if there's time, any questions or ideas that you have for how to spread the word about this program and make sure that this school year, kindergarten through 4th grade families are aware that they have this benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. I do see that there are some questions in the chat, but we are at time and we have our deputy chancellors to present. Would you mind, I know you dropped your information in the chat, if you could drop it again, and if you could respond in the chat, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so next on our agenda, we have our amazing deputy chancellors. We have Dr. Christina Melendez and Dr. Danica Rux. Dr. Melendez, would you like to go? Dr. Melendez? I don't see, is Dr. Rux here? I don't see her in the
I
chat.
don't see her, Randy.
Randy, I'm
Morning.
Christina Foti from Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning. I don't know if it helps for me to go and get you some time.
Sure, thank you.
Of course. Hi, everybody. Christina Foti, Deputy Chancellor overseeing special education and the Office of Multilingual Learners. We're delighted to be with you today. And thank you for the time you spent with my team recently. They were really, really impressed with the thoughtfulness and the thoughtful and care that you have put into our work and to supporting the families of students with disabilities. I hope you feel as good about the meeting as they did. They left both inspired and feeling connected to you all too, and very, very hopeful about the work that we will do together. So thank you for that time. I would love for you also to have time with the Office of Multilingual Learners, who I think you will find equally inspiring and committed. But I know one of the takeaways from that conversation was potentially a CPAC member joining the Special Education Advisory Council, we would love that participation, and I know we'll finalize that in the next meeting. But really just want you to know, we have always treated our families as our number one partner and priority. We'll continue to do so, and are honored to be doing this work with your support. So thank you. Thank you for the time, Randy. And I see Dr. Melendez is on, and as well as DC Rex's team. I hope I was a suitable time filler here.
Never a filler. I appreciate, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I didn't see you. I'm just looking at all these boxes, but no, we definitely appreciate you being here. And that meeting we felt like was so impactful and so productive, because like when you see somebody who really is engaged in the work and truly loves their work, like you feel that in the room. So we were like, oh, we wanted to talk about this. And it was like, we were just talking about that. And what can you tell? Like, it was just so amazing. We were just like in awe. It was definitely empowering for us. And we look forward to more meetings with your team. It was amazing.
Thank you, Randy. And I will certainly join as well. There's nothing we love more than this work in service of our kids and families. And so it is truly our greatest honor to have the opportunity to do this work, and so happy to be with you all. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Melendez. Deputy Chancellor Dr. Christina Melendez. Tongue twister. Okay, the floor is yours.
That is a running joke amongst us if you don't know about what to call me, but I think it's always great to follow another Christina. So you're never a filler, Deputy Chancellor Foti. I can't iterate enough just how excited we all are as leaders in this work, to support our chancellor in really doing the work that she strongly believes is the most important, which is doing this work together, right? That she fully understands and communicates repeatedly, both publicly, and I want you to all know privately as well, that we at New York City Public Schools can't do this work without the real partnership of both families and communities, as well as our principals and our school leaders. And so we're really always thrilled to show up here and show up strong for all of you, and to field your questions and concerns, and really figure out ways to support you on the ground as you support so many of our families. I think it's really important, and I urge you all to really fill out those question forms. We really do read them, and we really do get back to you if we don't get through it. I know that CPAC executive board works really hard to make sure that you get it out, and I know that there's a million things for you to do regularly, but they want to make this platform the most useful for all of you. I know that Anthony Aguilar on the team at the FACE team also wants to be able to provide the professional development and supports that you all need around things, not just elections, right? But your everyday things, so that you can avoid sort of financial missteps, et cetera, on the ground. And you can support us in guiding all of our families that are taking on leadership roles, and want to be part of this work. And you all do it for free, and we want to show up, but we can only help in what we know. So I urge you all to just make sure you keep asking us questions. CPAC is a wonderful way to do that. They are not just there. They really get those questions to us, and we really use either this platform or other platforms to answer it. And no question is too big or too small for us, and no question is ever going to get you sort of shut out of further conversations. In fact, it helps us think better together, and it helps us know exactly who to tap into, who is very much interested and in the weeds of some of the things we're thinking about, and help us with implementation. So please, please continue to play your role in tapping into CPAC as your vehicle for fielding our questions. And of course, we're always here to take questions directly if you don't feel comfortable in that platform. But just know that we're all really excited to partner with you, and really truly partner with you and bring you all of the things you need, but most importantly, tag you in on making sure your voice is heard and your voice is part of our thinking as well. So So know that there's going to be a lot of more invites coming from the FACE team. You're going to have an invite very soon around things around the test scores and just really unpacking that for you so you fully understand what that is. So we'll be hosting that soon. We're also going to have another cell phone policy sort of engagement as well when the school year starts so that we can continue to hear. This is something, Adriana, to the chancellor's point, we had to do it over the summer. It was a short timeline, but as implementation happens, we want to hear from you. And then there's so many other things coming as we get closer to the school year and throughout. And so just know that we really value you, and I hope you can show up. And there's never going to be a perfect date. I'm just gonna be honest. You guys do way too much out there. But please use delegates and representatives to show up to the platform so that we can make sure that everyone has their voice. Thank you for this time, and I look forward to continuing to chat with all of you.
Thank you, Christina. We appreciate you. See, we say Christina instead of, all these, it's a lot. It's a tongue twister. But we appreciate you being here. Also, Parent Whisperer is another, name that, we call you. So thank you so much.
Always happy to be here.
Okay.
Randy, how are you? Dr. Maribel here. I'm here for Deputy Chancellor Danica Rux with the rest of the chiefs from the Division of School Leadership, just to speak on behalf of the Division of School Leadership, if that's okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So first and foremost, I want to thank you, Randy, for assisting us with our family leadership coordinators and participating in our meeting. That's one little piece of the Division of School Leadership work that we do. But we are comprised of many different divisions. So we have the division within the Division of School Leadership, we have the school support, leadership development, academics and instruction, as well as state and federal accountability. So what does that mean for us? We basically ensure that superintendents are positioned to drive continuous improvement within their district, as well as hold them accountable for all student outcomes. That includes as well as teacher development and district development. We also have superintendents also have the responsibility of respective supports within the system priorities. So we ensure that they are implementing the citywide measures of success, provide strategic support and guidance to leadership competencies, as well as professional learning for them. And I'm just going to tag my colleague, Danielle Junta, if she wants to speak a little on the professional learning pieces for superintendents and principals.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Danielle Junta, and it's nice to see everyone here this month and reconnect with some of the parent leaders I had the honor of leading alongside of in District 26 during my time there. Hello, Ms. Aviles. And I think I see Ms. Walters on as well. In my role as Chief of School Leader Development, I get the pleasure and honor of designing and delivering all the professional learning for superintendents and deputy superintendents and executive directors of school support. And also, we have to make sure that we have folks ready to transition into leadership roles across the city. So I do have the honor of leading the Office of Leadership, which is all our pipeline programs, teachers who want to be administrators, APs who want to be principals, and principals and other leaders across the city that are thinking about leaving building leadership and serving the system and system leadership roles. So I get to really immerse myself in that work, which is a big passion. And I'll turn it over to back to Maribel to navigate us. Thanks for the opportunity to say hi.
Thank you. Thank you. We also, under our division, have now the academic and instructional piece since 2024. This particular division provides comprehensive support around teaching and learning to superintendents, district teams, school building leaders, and teachers. Just to give you a little bit of synopsis, I'm going to tag Danielle DeMango, another chief. So I specifically am the chief of school support for Brooklyn and Bronx, and Danielle DeMango
Oh,
Okay.
hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Um, Thank you for having us here today. I'm very excited to once again be able to work with all of you. As Danielle Junta said, and for those of you who know, we're known as the Danielles. We're happy to be here in support of you. So one of the things that Dr. Huller was saying is in terms of chief of school support, we do support districts, superintendents, and district teams across the city. So as Maribel said, she is Brooklyn and the Bronx, and I am all of Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, and then Joe Luft is for all of our high schools. We also have the honor and privilege and something that um, our chancellor was talking about today in working with New York City Reads and New York City Solves. You heard her mention Emily Noto and Ailish Brady. Those are people on our team who support the entire city around the rollout of that work. Elementary literacy, secondary literacy, academic intervention services, um, as well as New York City Solves, science, digital learning and innovation. All of that is under the leadership of our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Mia Teresa Pate, and the Chief of School Support, Cordelia Veve. It also includes social studies and civics for all, periodic assessments, core curriculum, the arts. So any questions or concerns that you have with superintendencies, teams, schools across the city, please know that we are here to support you. We also, under state and federal policy, many of you may know Sharon Rencher. She's done a tremendous amount of work and support with our SLTs, DCEPs, and just working with parents as well as districts to make sure that we have quality school goals and we are following the state policies. So I will flip it back over to Dr. Hulla to close out for us. But thank you for having us today. I'm looking forward to an amazing year.
Thank you all. And the last piece that I just wanted to mention under the Division of School Leadership is HR and Finance. So we do have the office, our office also manages HR, procurement, anything that has to do with payroll, specifically on the superintendent team, as well as the Division of School Leadership Central team. So any questions that you have around teaching and learning, superintendency world, that is the Division of School Leadership. We are also partnering now with FACE to support our family leadership and family support coordinators, not just with the governance piece, but also the instructional pieces that are a part of their district learning. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you so much. That was so informative and like a lot of information for us. This is why we are here working together, because we want parents to be part of the conversations, to be consulted with, not as a checklist or compliance, but like in real talk. So for our parent leaders that are here today, the reason why we have our deputy chancellors here introducing themselves and telling you about the work that they do is so you're empowered with the information that you need and you know who to contact if you do have issues. But it's not just for issues. If you want to give a congratulatory to your superintendent, to a principal, it's always, they hear from parents when we're upset about something. It's, that's valid. But also when we want to say, we want to give praise for things that are happening, good things that are happening, best practices that can be shared. If your district is doing something well with your superintendent, it can be shared with other districts. So we want to empower everybody to just have the information and the right people in the right places. So this is where you come. And that's why Dr. Melendez was saying to please, when we send these questionnaires out, if you ask the question in advance, those questionnaires get to the right people so that they come on prepared to answer the questions, not just to give a response, to get a real answer to your question. That's so important. People respond to a lot of things and it's unanswered. So now your questions are getting answered and you're being empowered with the information you need. So please fill out those surveys. Dr. Melendez, did you want to add something else?
If only I could unmute myself. Um, Yes, I just wanted to say that I truly appreciate the partnership that we have with Division of School Leadership. A lot of the work that falls under the Division of Family, Community, and Student Empowerment has a lot of cross-pollination with many folks, many leaders in the different divisions across the agency, of course, but we have developed over the last 2 years a strong collaboration with the Division of School Leadership, which is where all of the work happens, right? The stuff that happens on the ground is really supported by that team. And a lot of the work that we do with families is also supported by that team or the leaders in that space. And so the collaboration there has been very instrumental to us continuing to get some of your concerns and ideas out into the field. And so the FLC's training in that collaborative space has allowed for a lot of opportunity for us to share some of your thoughts and some of the things that have been happening in our schools with our FLC so that they could better support the parent coordinators in their schools. And so it's been very fruitful. I just wanted to also say that although I am usually seen as the face of FACE, which is very a very proud thing for me. There are other parts or offices in our newly defined division that are important to note here, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. So the Office of Community Schools falls under our division, as well as the Office of School Wellness falls under this division. The Attendance Office is as well part of this work that I lead. And the Office of Language Access, which has always been together with Family and Community Empowerment Office. And so we want to make sure that you are clear about some of the things that fall here so that you know how to direct your concerns. And then I wanted to make sure that I made a very clear and serious plug here for our attendance work. We are making very great progress with our attendance, and we want to continue to walk in that direction this school year. But we are really clear that many of our families just don't know what chronic absenteeism really is, and that it's only 18 days absent throughout our 180 days will actually make you chronically absent. And that is really tricky and difficult to communicate at mass level. And so we want to start early this year, but we want to do it in connection and partnership with you to make sure that families are not just aware that attendance really matters, and that we want our students in school so that they can do all of the learning they need to do. Because if they're not there, it doesn't matter all the work that we're doing. No one's there. They're not there to listen and they're not receiving in. So we're working really hard in that office to really push forward an attendance education campaign so that everyone's very aware of what attendance really means and how and where there are supports if attendance is an issue for different reasons. And so I want to make sure that I said that here. I'm going to put in the chat some of the work that the Family Connectors are doing as we continue to roll out New York City Public School Cares, which is our Chancellor's huge initiative this school year, to make sure that everyone is taken care of so that they can continue to make the strides that they're making in New York City Reads and New York City Solves, as well as participating in our Pathways work. So I'm going to put all of that information on the chat so that everyone can sign up to be a connector, learn more about being a connector. Our New York City Reads ambassador work really paid off. You heard the test scores information, so we want to continue to expand on that. Folks are really excited to continue to learn about the science of reading and how, as families, they can support their children at home. So not more of here, read a book with your kid. It's very clear ways that you can support your children at home so that you can support this work. And so I'm going to put all of that in the chat and the contact information for those folks. But thank you again, Randy, for giving me another chance to just share that.
Anytime. We appreciate any information that you're willing to share with us. It just only helps empower us even more. So thank you so much. Thank you all Deputy Chancellors that were here today. Thank you to your teams. Thank you to everyone for supporting us in the work for all of our children. So thank you again. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I know that we put the attendance form in the chat, but I'm just going to do a quick roll call because it's just been on since we started. So I know everyone is able to rename themselves. If you can't, just let us know. And I'm going to just do a quick roll call. So District 3, District 5, District 12, District 17, District 20, District 20, I see you. Okay, well, Josephine is here. District 21.
Here.
Thank you, Violetta. District 22. District 26.
Here.
Okay. Everybody's having, a mute button issue today. It's okay. Welcome, Adriana. District 29.
Here.
Welcome, Priscilla. District 30.
Here.
Rebecca. District 75. District 75.
Here.
Welcome, Quentin. Brooklyn High School. I am here. Bronx High School.
Here.
Hi, Rima. Manhattan High School. And Queens High School.
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, Shanette.
Hi.
Okay, so we only call the districts for the districts that we received the certifications information from, Anthony. So if you are watching on the YouTube Live and your President's Council that held your elections, please send your certification information to Anthony Aguilar. It's aaguilar5@schools.nyc.gov. Please make sure he receives it from your FLC so that you can attend our September meeting. Now we're gonna go over our minutes. We are perfectly on time. It is 10:25. We are doing minutes. Can someone share the April minutes on the screen? These were also sent out in advance to all members, so you should have had a moment to review the minutes that were sent out by email. Is somebody sharing their screen?
Randy, just in case, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry, guys, I cannot use my video. I'm having so much technology difficulties right now. Anthony, you have the slides. It will be awesome. A lot of people are visuals, just like myself, that you can put it up to make sure that everyone has that information, including the monthly meetings. It has been updated for school year 25-26. Thank you so much, Anthony. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, Chancellor's regulations, your executive board. You can keep on going. We already passed that. And then keep on going. So, Erica, you able to unmute? These were already done. Roll call was already done. These are the members that we currently have. Right now, these are the monthly meeting dates. You can go to the next slide. Okay, this was already done also. And these are the standing committees for everyone to have a little update. The capacity building meets quarterly, and the current chair is Shirley. The communications, Randy and Shirley are the co-chairs. The high school will meet in October. Mark your calendars just in case for everyone that is wondering. You're able to join. Okay, the legislative meets quarterly. The chair is Shirley. The multilingual language learners, the chair is Shirley again. The Title I, we don't have an update on when they will be meeting. I'm hoping that probably by September or October. The special education, I don't know if Liz is here, but Elizabeth Grayson and Ashley Mulero actually started meeting in June. They had a very successful meeting July, so really, really congratulations on that. The Wellness, Health and Safety Committee, we've met in June, July, and we'll be meeting in August 28th. We hope that everyone joins, that everyone brings your input, any suggestions that you may have. We're trying to reactivate these committee meetings to have more people in power and share your voice. We need you. And then the alumni, which meets quarterly, we're working on getting dates. Thank you so much for everyone that was able to join to those meetings. Let me check on the next slide, Anthony, please. Okay, you can go back. And I'm not sure if I can share. Okay, the minutes are on the email that was already sent out. The April and May minutes, if I share my whole screen, is going to go a bit crazy. Um, is anyone able to please share the April minutes so we can adopt it? And it is on everyone's email, including yours, Anthony, not to put you in the spot.
I got it.
Thank you so much. It was also sent out multiple times. If anyone has any questions, please let us know. If not, maybe a motion to adopt them. The April minutes.
I make a motion to adopt Sharon Walters, President's Counsel for the April minutes.
Thank you, Shernette. And a second?
Adriana Aviles, District 26.
Yay, thank you, Adriana. Okay, and we can go ahead and do the main minutes.
Coming.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Are there any questions with regards to the main minutes? If not, we can adopt them and we need a motion, someone to make a motion and then someone to second it.
D21, Violetta Sabovic.
Violetta, thank you and welcome,
You're
by
welcome.
the
Thank
way.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we would love a second.
Second, Adriana Aviles, District 26.
Adriana, you're on point. Thank you so much. Okay, so the April and May minutes are done. And we went a little bit ahead of schedule. Yes, yes, yes. And right now we're having a training. Thank you guys so much. Please stay on and let's learn together. There is no right or wrong answer. We're here to just continue to empower everyone, obtain as much information and knowledge of how you can advocate in your schools, in your district, citywide, and that's why we're here. If we can put on the slides, maybe whenever you're ready.
Sorry, just working through some technical issues.
Oh my God. Today is the day, like out of all days. I don't even want to touch my computer. I don't want to do anything right now because
Anthony, do you have the slides? No? Okay.
it was sent to Anthony, Ashley, Randy. I see something on my screen.
You see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's big enough?
We need it in presenters mode.
That's what I don't do.
It's on the right side. You see in right there in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just click on it. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, working together.
Yes,
Thank you
awesome.
so much. Thank you so much. Okay, today we are going to do a little presentation. Hopefully, it's helpful to everyone. We just wanted to take the time to learn together. You can go to the next slide, Andy. And yes, so today we hope that you come willing to learn more. Every single day we learn with parent leaders, and the laws are always changing. We are going to do President's Council roles and responsibilities. We're going to speak about membership, and we're also going to suggest, obviously, best practices for organizing your meetings. We're going to also let you know about virtual meetings and in-person meetings and how to hold a hybrid meeting. We're going to speak about Chancellor's regulations and the New York City Public Schools, parent and community leadership structure. We're also going to speak about the bylaws, right? What should be in your bylaws. And we're going to speak about elections that are not hybrid, obviously. And if you're having any hybrid elections, please discontinue and redo it again. We're also having fundraising ideas and how to bank. And we're going to let you know about the grievances and how to differentiate them from complaints. We're also having a Q&A. So we are here, again, to work together. There are no wrong or right answer. Is work is learning and empowering ourselves with knowledge. And I'm going to pass it to Ashley. The next slide. Mike's all yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. So I will start with the roles and responsibilities of the president and or co-president. So co-presidents run as a slate, which means that if two people are running at the same time for president, it does not mean that one is president, the other one is co-president. The role is shared equally, and they both become co-presidents. They preside at all meetings of the council, which means that they both have to be present for the meetings, their meetings that they're hosting. They are an ex-official member of all committees except the nominating committee. Also delegate responsibility to members of the council as needed and attend all regular meetings of the president's council. They are representatives to CPAC, serves as a mandatory member of the district leadership team. Plans agendas for general membership meetings with executive board officers, meets regularly with the exec board members, is one of the eligible signatories on checks if the council is engaged in fundraising, and assists with the June transfer of all President's Council records to the incoming executive board. If you have any questions about that, please put it in the chat. It'll be easier. Next, I'll go over the roles and responsibilities for recording secretary. Record minutes at all council meetings. It doesn't matter how you do it, just make sure that your minutes are taken for each meeting. Prepare notices, agendas, sign-in sheets, and materials for distribution. Prepare and distribute the minutes at council meetings. Distributes copies of the minutes for review and approval by the general membership. Maintain the custody of the council's records. Incorporates all amendments into the bylaws and ensures that signed copies of the bylaws with the latest amendments are on file in the superintendent's office. May also be responsible for reviewing, maintaining, and responding to all correspondence addressed to the council and maintain all records for a period of 6 years. And then we have a note of this best practice is to use a binder to store your documents. And those documents are not to stay on your person. You don't keep them for yourself. It goes to your next exec board.
Ashley, I
The
just
next,
Ashley, I just
go
want to
ahead.
jump in and say something. So for the
Mhm.
recording secretary, all the positions on the executive board are very important, but we want to make sure that the recording secretary is making sure that they're recording motions and votes at a meeting. And also if you like, let's just say that you vote to amend something, you wanted to amend your working budget and you do it at a meeting, and the next meeting, someone notices that they're not in the minutes. At that meeting, when before the minutes are approved, someone could make a motion and add that at the last meeting, we made the amendment. I don't see it in the minutes. And at that meeting, you don't have to wait till the next meeting. At that meeting, you can vote to approve the minutes with the amendment, and making sure that that's in there. You don't have to wait till another meeting. Once the minutes are adopted, they're adopted. So before they're adopted, you want to make sure that you review them. You also don't have to have had been present at the prior meeting to vote to approve the minutes. And anything that is done at a meeting, you want to make sure it's recorded, because if it's not recorded in the minutes, it's like it didn't happen, because you don't have proof that it was actually done because it's not in the minutes. Okay, that was all.
Thank you, Randy. Next, I'll go over the roles and responsibilities for treasurer. And again, the treasurer, that's if the council has a bank account. Sometimes, like President's Council, not everybody has a treasurer for those councils. So responsible for all financial affairs and funds of the council, maintains an updated record of all income and expenditures, is one of the signatories on checks, adheres to and implements all financial procedures established by the council, prepares and presents a written report of all transactions at every membership meeting, prepares the council's financial reports if the council is engaged in fundraising, makes available all books and financial records for viewing by members upon request for audit, prepares the proposed budget, interim and annual financial report, and all other monthly reports, keeps a record of all inventory, EIN number, and tax exempt certificate. And again, the note is use a binder to store documents. It just helps to keep everyone's documents and information together, and easier also to do a transfer of records in June. Roles and responsibilities for President's Council non-mandatory positions. We have Vice President, Corresponding Secretary, Financial Secretary, and Virtual Support Liaison. President's Council officers are elected to serve a one-year term beginning July 1st and ending June 30th of the following year. And that is all for me. I'm not sure, Randy, if I'm passing it back over to you or if I'm passing it to Rosa.
No, I got it.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
so for membership, the executive board should all be meeting together and should be having monthly executive board meetings to plan for the general membership meetings. So these are also best practices and some regulation. So all PA and PTA presidents in the district or the borough are automatically a member of the President's Council. They are entitled to one representative. So if you're the PTA president of PS1 and PS123 in District 1, you could only serve as a representative for one or the other school, and you'd have to have a representative to serve at the other school. You can't represent two schools at one President's Council. If they have co-presidents, the co-presidents have to decide which one is going to be the president's council member. Schools that are K to 12 or 6 to 12 are entitled to membership in both their district and borough. So if you're 6 to 12, you would attend your district president's council meeting, and then the borough that you're in, that high school president's council meeting. So we want to explain the role of the president or the representative to CPAC, or would be PAPTA to President's Council. If you're the PTA president, the PA or PTA president, or the President's Council, and you cannot attend the CPAC or the President's Council, I'll just do President's Council to make it easier. For PTAs that cannot attend the President's Council meeting, like ever, they would then appoint a representative with the membership's approval at the PTA meeting. So that means that that now representative will be the person representing the school, and the president would no longer have any voting rights. They would be able to attend the meeting, but they would be there as an observer. So that representative would be listed on the certification form as the representative. So they have to be a member of the PTA in that school. They have to be approved by the general membership, has to be recorded in the minutes of the meeting that took place. Like I said, listed on the certification form, and they have full voting rights. And that the only way you can remove a representative is if the membership approves it. So it has to be a vote by the membership. You can't decide as the president, you know what? I want to go to these meetings now, so I'm just going to say, you know, the representative can't go anymore. You have to put it on the agenda, and you have to have a vote to remove them. You're also supposed to have quarterly meetings with your superintendent. So you want to make sure that you set those days up in advance. It would be a good idea now in August to contact your superintendent's office and to secure a date for the entire executive board to meet with the superintendent. You want to make sure as a executive board that the first thing that you do is you share Chancellor's Regulations A660 and the President's Council bylaws. So this way everyone knows their roles and responsibilities, and you can work as a team. You want to make sure that you're creating an environment where everyone feels heard and seen. It's never, I'm the president, so this is what we're going to do. It's, we're a team. We're all elected to serve together. So we're going to come up with ideas together. We're going to think outside the box. We've seen things that the previous President's Council's done before. Some of those ideas were great. We're going to, you know, continue them and improve on them. And some didn't really work so well. So we're going to think outside the box and come up with some other ideas. You want to make sure that all responsibilities, everyone knows what they are, and the president or co-president is delegating to either the vice president or the corresponding secretary or what other members you have on the team. You want to provide opportunities for new leaders to emerge. So you want to empower everyone, what we do here. So everything should mirror and trickle down. You lead by example. So even though you have your executive board, you always want to create an opportunity for a new member to come up and have ideas and share, and you're never alone. So the same way we said the representative or the president to President's Council, there are also an alternate that you can have. The alternate is only in the event that the president or the representative is unable to attend that month. Their child's sick, they can't go to the meeting. So you want to make sure that you have someone, and you can also list them on the certification form, recorded in the minutes. It's also, just like I said, in the event that they can't attend that one meeting or two meetings, they also have to be members of the PTA. They're appointed by the president, also need to be approved by a vote of the general membership, recorded in the minutes. They have to be listed on the certification form. And then they're the only alternative that has the full voting rights. So they can go and still count for quorum. They can still vote to approve the minutes, make motions, only in the absence of the representative. If they both should attend, let's say the representative and the alternate attends, then only the representative would have the voting rights and count towards quorum, and not the alternate. The only thing that the alternate would be unable to do is serve as an executive board member, because they're only the alternate. And then again, once approved, the alternate can only be removed by a vote of the membership. So we're going to move on to best practices.
Hi, good morning. Best practices for meetings and everything else. Be inclusive and not exclusive. You want to make sure that everyone gets the notices, language access, and everything else is there as well. Make participation meaningful. Create opportunities to involve your members. Support and encourage your parent leaders. Solicit activity ideas and volunteers to make them happen. That's one of the big things. I know you'll hear this more a little bit when we go over fundraising, but when people volunteer, get their name, get their number, get their information as quickly as possible. And when bringing up an idea, get volunteers and make a request right there. Solicit feedback often and make positive changes when warranted. Learn from each other and model what you've learned. You soliciting feedback, you can do a survey, you can have a poll during your meetings, ask for support from your family leadership coordinator, CPAC face whenever needed. Our email is available, and we do have a whole team ready to support. Group chats are common forms of communication, but they can also be misinterpreted. They lack nonverbal cues and tones. And the other part to remember too is there are times where some people will choose not to be part of a group chat. One of the best practices is if you use everything by email, it's easier for someone to refer back to the email itself. Okay, and best practices for organizing the actual meeting. So you want to plan with the executive board on the needs of your district, students, and parent community. Establish priority and goals. Review your budget, align with priorities and goals. Organize your documents, records. Learn and understand how your president's council can support your district in clear and tangible ways. Identify key players to talk to and learn from. One of the things that you'll notice from our CPAC meetings is we usually always bring in different guest speakers. It keeps everyone engaged and gives access to different resources that your parents may not have. Make sure you have your superintendent involved and invited, family leadership and support coordinators, and parent leaders from all grades. So if you're looking on how to plan your actual meeting, most of the meeting plans are located in your bylaws. This is what you see here is just the general of, and always have an agenda of the meeting. The agenda helps you to move forward and helps you to remember what's next. And it also helps all of the parents to know and plan and set up their questions. So you would start with calling the meeting to order. Distribution and approval of minutes. In there, there's also the quorum, check for quorum and attendance. Obviously, if you're going to do any minutes or have anything put in, you wanted to make sure that you do have quorum so you can conduct business. The superintendent's report, president report, treasurer's report, committee reports, any updates from any outside meetings, the local CEC, CPAC, DLT, CCHS, CCSE, and CCELL, depending on what grade level you cover, and old business, new business, questions, concerns, and adjournments. And I know just depending on what grade level you cover, but sometimes it's great to just go straight across so parents know that these are here. And when it comes time for parent leadership and our CEC elections, the parents have already heard and understand what these councils that they may not be usually exposed to do. Okay, conducting President's Council meetings. At the beginning of every school year, the executive board must survey the parent leaders to determine the date, time, location, and format, in-person, virtual, and hybrid, for the monthly general membership meeting. This, as you'll see later on when we go over the Chancellor's regs, does show up as part of A660. It's something that's usually done in the beginning. It can be a very simple Google or Microsoft form survey to get you the information that you need. So then if you need to make any adjustments to the time and way you're going to present your meeting, you can do that as early as possible during the year. The executive board must determine its capacity to host meetings using a particular format before presenting it to the general membership for approval. If you are unable to have quorum with present, I will go over that in a minute. When you have the actual meeting, you may not want to move for a hybrid or in person. If you know that most of the parents are going to be on the go or going from one meeting to another, then you want to make sure not only that you're going to do virtual, but you do have access to a DOE Zoom so you're able to conduct your meetings. If the President's Council is unable to conduct general membership meetings, in either a virtual or hybrid, it must conduct in-person meetings. Meetings may be conducted virtually or a platform that allows a phone-in option. Also, when you are posting the meeting notices, you always want to put in the dial-in number just in case you do have some parents that are not able to get in if technology is not working, as you've seen our example today. Hybrid meetings must be physically convened in a school building. So it can be any school building. Years back, prior to Zoom, a lot of times President's Council would go to different school buildings. So that's an option for you as well. President's Council bylaws may provide for members participating from remote locations that may be counted toward quorum and are allowed to vote using established voting protocols for virtual and hybrid meetings. And as we've mentioned many times, and we'll mention again, the only the only way you cannot conduct elections is hybrid. So you're either in person or virtual. Okay, and holding virtual meetings. When you're holding virtual meetings, a President's Council chooses to, if they do choose to use that, again, with the survey or whatever, originally it'll be whatever's in your bylaws, it must be one that allows the meeting to resemble an in-person meeting. So you would go through the agenda and the entire process as you saw earlier. These guidelines have been adopted to help President's Council conduct a successful virtual general membership meeting. Requirements for the meetings, again, it's the 10-day notice sent by reasonable means. That can be either through email, a group chat. If it's only just your President's Council and it doesn't have everyone in it, does not count as actual meeting notice. Email is the best way to do it. Send it to your FLC, your FSC to send out a blast or send it out via email on their email line. So that way everyone who is coming to the meeting will have multiple reminders and ways to actually get notification. The procedures described below are suggested practices that work in most cases. The variety of platforms and technology available combined with different President's Council needs and make it impossible to set uniform standards. So every district is a little bit different. Every president's going to have access to different types of media and communication. And so these are guidelines formulated for video adjustments. And to have members who join by phone also be included in the meeting. Even though it's not here, it's also when we have any kind of interpretation. You want to also make sure as you conduct your meeting that you do check the interpretation lines to make sure that there's no one on the interpretation lines that has any questions or concern. You want to designate 2 members to run the meeting chair, which is usually the president, and then a tech person. This will be the person letting people in, making sure that the technology is correct, fixing or working with interpretation. And it is important for the tech person to actually be comfortable. If you are using Zoom, they should know how to use Zoom and how to put the captions on or record or anything else. So make sure whoever you have in that position, they're actually volunteering and able to go through that. Okay, the waiting room should be established and allow for orderly start of the meeting. So if you have a waiting room, it's much easier. If you need to jump on anything last minute with the executive board, you're able to do that before letting people in. There should be an introductory screen with the agenda set up. So when people do come in the waiting room, if you have any technical issues or anything else, you'll then be able to, they'll know what's going on and where they are in the meeting. There also should be an explanation of the platform, the rules, and basic norms. The norms are pretty much found everywhere. It's one mic, keeping respect. Most people by now, after 4.5 years of virtual meetings, pretty much understand, but you always want to make sure you set the tone for your meeting and start off that way. If you see anyone that has iPad, iPhone, or any other name or nickname, you can ask them to identify themselves and to change their name, or you can change the name for them. The PTA executive board members may attend President's Council meeting as observers, but cannot participate unless recognized by the chair. The other thing to remember with that is all our PTA meetings are public meetings. So if someone who is not a PTA president or an executive board member does end up going to one of your PTA meetings, you cannot throw them out of the room. They do have a right to be there for the open general meeting. The chair must confirm that quorum is met. That's one of the reasons we give you the agenda. So you know before you start anything having to do with business, attendance and quorum is there. Quorum is specified by your bylaws, but it cannot be less than 8 members, including 2 executive board officers. That brings up a little bit of confusion. If you have 4 executive board officers and 4 parents, you are good. It just has to be at least 2 of the 8 parents are executive board officers. No permission is required to record the meeting. As a matter of courtesy, the host should inform the participants that the meeting is being recorded when announcing the home rules. Bylaws should be available in case a question arises. Also, when you have the minutes and the bylaws, having them as an actual document and having your tech person able to drop the PDF into the chat, that's also incredibly helpful. For A660 and President's Council bylaws must be consulted first, as they will supersede in any cases of conflict. This is holding an in-person meeting. This one we all pretty much know about, but I'll go over it really quickly. Again, the notice must be sent at least 10 calendar days prior to the scheduled meeting. You want to make sure this, again, could have been if you polled your parents and found out what works best for them. Remember that it should be the date and time unless the date falls on a legal holiday, a legal or religious holiday, in which the meeting will be held on the following or previous day as determined by the executive board, or sometimes there is notice put into the bylaws that tell you what happens when it falls on one of those days. All general membership meetings must be held in the district borough. Community meetings may be held in a location convenient to all members, but may not be held in private homes. All eligible members may attend and participate general membership meetings. PTA executive board members may only speak or otherwise participate if recognized by the chair. And this again gives you the order of business. Again, and always refer to your bylaws for any additions to that list.
Erica, before you continue, just for transparency and clarity, it also says to attend a meeting in person, you must show your ID to enter the school building. Just to
That's
make
right.
sure that everyone remembers that, because I've seen it myself in a lot of schools. parents come in for meetings, or they just want to come in and speak to someone, they don't have their ID. So just to help parents and families understand, as well as just the parent leaders to just reiterate that to them and let them know they need to have their ID on them to enter the school building. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. I was definitely going on that one as well. And when it comes to ID, most of the time it has to have your picture and has to have your information on it. So preferably it's a driver's license, New York City license, or New York City ID, non-driver's ID. But there is an entire list. You can talk to your school agent and they'll be able to help you out with that.
Okay, I know that there's a lot that we're discussing now. So are there any, do you want to like pause a minute, ask questions? Anthony, do you want to jump in for a minute?
I can answer any questions that arise if there are any questions.
Okay. Because I know like it's just a lot. So just want to like just pause for a minute. Everyone good? Anyone have any questions they want to ask? If you want to write it in the chat, if you want to ask it live. We're good? Okay.
It's pretty much the this goes back to the quorum. We've mentioned the quorum again, the minimum number of executive board members, but if you have all 8 executive board members, that does count as quorum. Quorum for a hybrid meeting. So the hybrid meeting must be those who are in person must have quorum in order to have the people who are hybrid, participating hybrid executive board members count as being there. Minutes of the previous meeting shall be available in written form. Again, we mentioned this. If you have it in the PDF form, you can also include it into your slides so people are able to see it and read it. And by actually, or if you have access to an email list, you can include your meeting with your meeting notice. You can include the minutes to be reviewed. That way, all of your membership is already prepared and has received it. There is the opportunity to have special membership meetings, which are held outside of your actual meeting dates. That's when there's an urgent matter or something that cannot wait until the next meeting. Also, when doing so, whatever you call the special meeting for, that is the only thing you will be having the meeting on. It's a minimum of 48 hours written notice to the parent leaders. And it does not apply to President's Council elections. Upon receipt of the written request, the council members, presidents or co-presidents, must then call a special meeting within 5 calendar days. So this does not have to come directly from the president. This can actually come as a request to the executive board. Meeting rules of order should be adopted. The rules that are used are called Robert's Rules of Orders. There is a very quick cheat sheet video on YouTube. If you Google that, it'll break down everything of what to do and what not to do. And I think they even have a PDF that you can print out for your meetings for your executive board members. And finally, we get to the hybrid meeting. We've mentioned a little bit about that. We'll get a little bit specific. A hybrid meeting, as per A660, is a President's Council meeting that in combined platforms. Some participants are online, some participants are in person, and can also join by phone. Hybrid meetings are a great way to increase access. These are great when you're adding any kind of food or giveaways or anything else, but still want to give the parents the ability to participate. Virtual meeting platforms you can use Zoom, Google Meets, and Teams. Most people usually actually prefer Zoom. only because the platform itself is a little bit easier to navigate, especially when you're working with interpretation, but you are permitted to use whichever one is more comfortable for you. It is recommended that you use a platform that allows participants to call in using their phone, and it also has, again, with the call-in line itself. Make sure that you are arranging the meeting so that all the resources you would have in person are also available. So if there's going to be handouts or any paper given to those who are in person, you want to have a PDF version for those who are online. Okay, it's also helpful to also have two people, again, who are jointly making the hybrid meeting run smoothly. The president chair leads the meeting and moves everyone through the agenda. And the tech person, again, would be working the virtual meeting. One of the things you can then assign to the tech person or an additional executive board member is to monitor the chat. You want to make sure that if anyone is asking questions, having technical problems, cannot hear you, you're able to have someone who's going to catch that right away, and everyone will be able to feel like they're able to participate virtually. Good, and we'll have Rosa tell you a little bit more about the Chancellor's regulations.
Thank you so much, Erica. Can you
Rosa,
hear me?
before you start, can we do a little pop quiz to see if people are paying attention?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just wanted to mention, you're also able to write your questions in the chat. We will read them and we'll have Randy answer them accordingly. So please feel free to just write them in the chat. No names will be named. Thank you, Anthony. You can go ahead.
All right. So my first question, what are the mandatory officers of President's Council? Can I get somebody who's not the executive board? You can
Want me
unmute
to raise my
yourself.
hand?
Sure,
Even though I'm
you're
already
fine.
talking? Oh, okay.
You're fine.
So the president or co-presidents, the recording secretary, and the treasurer.
Which one is optional? What's the exception?
The like as far as like the virtual support, you
Yes,
mean?
that's, but
Okay.
of the
Like the
mandatory
non-core,
officers, there's an exception to the mandatory officers. What is that exception?
the treasurer.
Good. And that's only if you do not have a bank account on the President's Council. Thank you. My next question, what are the formats that you can host an election? How can you host an election? What are the formats that you can use? You can just unmute yourself. Come on, we have a couple of people.
I
Maybe
mean, I could
hint
go
it.
again. Yeah.
Say that again. Two people were speaking at the same time.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe give a hint. What are the two ways that you can hold elections?
Oh, I mean, I can go again if somebody else wants to go.
Sure.
In person or virtual, you can't do hybrid.
Correct. You cannot do hybrid. Perfect. How many meetings should you have with the superintendent? Come on, we have other people. Nobody?
Adriana said quarterly question mark.
Yes, quarterly, so 4. Correct.
I just want to say that District 21, Violetta did put 4 in the chat.
I saw that.
District
Yeah,
21.
I'm trying to give somebody else a turn.
District 21. Just want to point that out,
Thanks. Well trained. Well trained. Do my homework.
All right, Rosa, I'll hand it back off to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Randy, for that cough too. 21. Okay. Okay. We are going to speak about Chancellor's regulations, not all of them, obviously. And what are Chancellor's regulations? Are their policies and procedures established by the Department of Education to govern and guide public school system. And these are some suggestions for you to know ahead of time. It's very important that you obtain as much information as possible. And for example, Chancellor's Regulation A610 talks about the fundraising activities, the collection of money, etc. And I'm just going to touch briefly because we have a lot of information to go. The Chancellor's Regulation A650 speaks about flea markets. The Chancellor Regulations A655 that touches on a very important topic, DOTs and the schools SOTs. So please, 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 if you do not know and would like more information about any of these regulations, they are on the website and we can also support you in having a more robust discussion. Chancellor Regulation A660 that speaks about PTA, the Parents Associations and the Parent Teachers Associations, and the regulations of rights and responsibilities. Chancellor Regulation A665 talks about the uniform policy. Every single school is different. A lot of our schools do not wear uniform, and a lot of our schools do wear. Sometimes it's a little bit expensive, but please speak to your school with that regards. Chancellor's Regulation A12 speaks about competitive food. We've had the Office of School Services come to us numerous times. And as always, we will continue to advocate for better food for our kiddos. Let's go to, oh, yes. This is actually very important, and thank you. With regards to there are no gamblings in the school, no forms of bingo, none of that. All of that is prohibited. Let's go to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. And another very important topic is the school parent and community leadership structure. And I personally like to start from the bottom, which is one of the most important level, the level of the school level. The school level, we have the Parents Association, Parent Teachers Association Executive Board. We also have the school leadership teams where we come together and make decisions together as a team. And then we also have the Title I Parents Advisory Council, which are in charge of the 1% allocated funds that can be used for parent engagement and education. At the district level, we have the community education councils who are advisors to work together, with the superintendent. And we also have the district leadership teams. And we have borough-wide, we have the Borough High School President's Council. We have 5, and we have the District President's Council that are all the districts. And we have the District Title I Parent Advisory Council. At the citywide level, we have obviously us, the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council. We support 1.1 million families and students. We are your voice. We represent every single district. We also have the panel for educational policy. We have the citywide council on high schools. We have the Citywide Council on English Language Learners, and we have the Citywide Council for District 75. So basically, the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, we have a representative for all these levels. What is the DLT? The DLT consists of representatives from elementary, middle, and high school that are located in the district. we develop the district comprehensive educational plan that should be also on the website. And if you do not know about it, please let your FLC or your superintendent. It is public records. Everything is public. We also have the community education councils. There are 12 representatives, depending if it's district or citywide, like the Citywide Council on High Schools. There's also citywide, we have the high school level, and we have the special education level, and we have the ELL level. The panel for education policy consists of 15 appointee members and the chancellor. So there is a representative for each of the presidents are able to vote their PEP representative, and 9 are appointed by the mayor. CPAC, us, we are made up of presidents of the presidents or representatives of each of the districts. We meet with the chancellor and other divisions, as you can see, on a monthly basis to share information and to guide the chancellor and also prepare together. You know, we work together. Can you go to the next slide? Thank you so much. And I was stating earlier, one of the most important roles are the PTA. Join your PTA, see how you can be a volunteer on the PTA. We advocate for students and families for that specific school. And we provide updates for families about the schools. We support different activities. We engage with parents and families so they can know what is going on in their school. We host workshops, educational activities. We do fundraisings. And again, there are a lot of volunteer positions. So the school leadership team, and this is one of the most important, again, everything is important, but this is one of the most important role in the school, in your specific school. And if anyone does not know, the school leadership team, we collaborate, like everything is focused on students' achievement, right? Because we want all of our students to thrive. And it is open to the public. It's open meetings law. So if you do not know when is your school leadership team meeting, or if it's not on the website, which it should be on the website, the day, the time, the location, ask the principal, ask your parent coordinator. And if they're not responsive, then ask the family leadership coordinator for those meetings. As it is an open meetings law, you're able to join anytime. But remember, if you're not a member, right, you're not able to participate in the school leadership team meetings other than be basically a silent observer. But it will be amazing if you can go to these meetings. There are a lot of information given at the SLT. So the SLT develops educational policies for the specific school. Again, they provide ongoing evaluations of educational programs, everything to impact the students' achievement. We play a very, very important role in the decision making. It is not what one person says, it is what we say, what we our focus will be and should be only about the students' success. The Title I Parents Advisory Council, every school, if it's oh my gosh, a Title I school, thank you. Title I school should have the Title I PAC, and we support parent educational engagement. Title I PAC participates in the school leadership team in joint review, planning, and improvement of the Title I programs, and the development and revision and review of the parent and family engagement party. We can go to the next slide. Thank you so much. I think one thing I forgot to mention about the SLTs, at the end of the school year, there is a principals evaluation. So if you have not done so, that's okay. There is always a next year, but there should be a form. We'll also can send it to you if you don't have it. It is on the DOE website that it is always about working together. It is not about what one person says. Not everything is set in stone, and we are there. The SLT members are there to work together with all the members. Okay, President's Council bylaws. The President's Council bylaws, they sorry, be sure that your bylaws work for your council. The dates, the times, the locations, if you're meeting in person, all of that must work with your council. President's Council must review, if necessary, amend their bylaw every 3 years and whenever the chancellor's regulations are revised. So if the chancellor's regulations are revised and it conflicts with your bylaws, then your bylaws need to be amended because the chancellor's regulation supersedes whatever your current bylaw says. And if you're not sure if your bylaws need to be amended, please let us know. We are able to form a bylaws committee that can support and guide your council on how to structure your bylaws to align with the chancellor's regulation. Very important, you must be in compliance with the President's Council bylaws and hold the executive board and general membership meetings every single month. If your bylaws states your executive board meeting is at 5 p.m. on the first Tuesday of the month, and your general membership is at 6 on the second Tuesday of the month, then that's what it is. You cannot change it 10 days before and say, we are not able to meet at 5 p.m. We're just going to meet at 6 p.m. Please make sure that you create a flyer. That's what I actually do. I create a flyer and send it every single year at the beginning of the year so everyone can know and plan ahead. People, I especially me, like I'm a visual person and like information right in front of me. And I like to share that information with everyone. So that's what I like to do. I'm going to pass it now to Josephine.
Okay, thank you, Rosa. Good morning, everybody. We're glad you're still hanging on. Okay, so I'm going to go over elections, which is very important. Elections must be conducted in a fair, inclusive manner. You're providing opportunities for full participation of all members. The elections must only be conducted during an in-person meeting or through a virtual platform. They cannot be conducted hybrid. If your bylaws say that your elections are hybrid, those need to be adjusted ASAP. That should be the first thing that you guys review. So PTAs must find a nominating committee. You find a nominating committee. They're the ones that conduct your meetings. Three to four people are sufficient because you have one who hosts the meeting, the second one will take the minutes, and the third one will be a timekeeper. PTA offices are elected to serve as a one-year term beginning July 1st, ending June 30th. Co-officers must be held by a single person unless the PTA bylaws allow for co-officers. Bylaws may allow but must not be mandated the sharing of offices. So the voting rights of co-officers must be specified in the bylaws. If you're running as a co-officer, so let's say you're running, your bylaws state that you have president / co-presidents. The co-presidents must serve as a slate. You must nominate yourselves together. You can't basically, for example, you're at an election, you can't nominate, Randy can't nominate herself and then say, I want to be a co-president, and then somebody else says she wants to nominate herself as a co-president. I'm sorry. You have to be there together. You have to say it together. I, Josephine, nominate myself as co-president. Randy nominates herself as co-president as well. It must be done together, not separated, not asking someone, hey, Randy, do you want to be co-president with me? So it has to be planned and done together. Upon the resignation of removal of a co-officer, the remaining co-officer must choose whether to serve alone for the remainder of the term or resign so that position can be filled through succession. And then an expedited election is conducted. Provisions to be included in the bylaws. The PTA bylaws must specify how elections will be conducted. So make sure your bylaws specify, again, like I said, virtual or in person, no hybrid. You form the nominating committee for the spring election. So basically around April, March, April, you start forming a nominating committee. They help with the elections, they solicit nominations, they go around asking, letting people know what positions are available. You verify eligibility, you make sure they are a parent of the school, they can run, they can vote. Voting on contested and uncontested offices, making sure they have the ballots. This is all duties of the nominating committee. They certify the elections, whether officer vacancies may be filled by succession and in what order. Was that it on elections? Okay. So elections, also an election form must be sent out, 10-day notice, same as any PTA meeting notice. A form must go out. The election agenda must state the date it was submitted to everybody, the platform you're using, whether it's in person or virtual, the time, the date, if it's virtual, the link should be on there. All the positions, a description of all the positions must be listed on the election agenda. Everything must be in plain, simple, where everybody is aware of what's going on. What else? What am I missing on elections? The agenda, you can also include a copy of your PTA bylaws in case they want to see what the positions all hold and entail. And I think that's it for elections.
Can I step in?
Yeah.
So one of the most important things after the election is done is the election certification form. That must be given to your FLC FSC within 5 days of the completion of your election. So for best practices, that should be done right after the election takes place. So once you convene your meeting, adjourn your meeting, you should stay back to new executive board and fill out that document ASAP and send it off. That just ensures that you are able to be on the CPAC meeting. We have all the representatives for all the district meetings that occur. And everything is being conducted with feedback from, I guess, the members. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Next is fundraising and banking. A checking account must be maintained in the name of the President's Council or the PAPTA. Online banking, President's Council may establish online access through the bank's online system for goods and services rendered. When this is not possible, payment for goods and services should be carried out by more conventional means, such as check. You can use your bank debit card per the regulations. Prior to any transactions, the executive board must provide authorization from and issue a disbursement form, which is attached to your financial records of any online transactions. In order to set up online access to your President's Council bank account, you must have a DOE issued email account assigned to you. So you can't just use PS204 PTA at gmail.com. It has to be PS204 at schools .nyc.gov. It should be the school's account. Signers. President's Council checks must be signed by 2 officers. The President's Council bylaws must indicate at least 3 officers to be eligible to sign. The 2 signers of the checks may not be related by blood or marriage per your regulations. Per our regulations. Under no circumstances may spouses, siblings, in-laws, or other relatives or members be in the same household sign a check. And that goes President's Council, it goes for PTAs. A President's Council member may not sign a check if she has any direct or indirect interest in the expenses. No checks may be written or payable to petty cash or cash. And signers may not approve any of those checks. President's Council must not possess or use withdrawal slips. President's Councils must not use the bank debit card to withdraw funds. You cannot use the ATM to withdraw or deposit any money. Violation of this provision may result in immediate removal. Bank debit cards, President's Councils may receive and have use of the card for the sole purpose of paying a vendor who cannot or does not accept check. For example, an online vendor can't send them a check, but you can pay through your PTA, President's Council debit card. It also must be approved by the general membership. Again, the disbursement form must be filled out and signed by the 2 officers. Bank debit cards must not be used for the following items: third-party mobile applications. So you can't use it on your phone, wallet, your phone, putting the card on your phone, or any other electronic device. Direct donations, out-of-pocket reimbursements, cash withdrawals from the ATM, receiving cash back or a cash refund from ensuing transactions. Again, violations of this may result in immediate removal. And this is all per the regulations. It is all in the A660 regulations. So make sure your bylaws are updated with this information. Financial records are all records reflecting income, expenses, refunds, and any other financial transactions. Make sure you're organized, your treasurer is organized in all financial records. They're maintained in the district or borough office. President's Councils must keep all financial records for a period of 6 years. That goes for your PTAs. Financial records must include interim and annual financial reports, bank statements, ledgers from your checkbook, deposit slips, minutes approving the financial transactions, ATM debit card disbursement forms, all invoices, canceled or voided checks if there are any, vendor contracts, vendor inventory list of purchased items, copies or records of tax exempt forms submitted for purchase, and any other record reflecting income, expenses, must be maintained. Fundraisers are not ends in themselves. PTA they must be tied to the goals of the PTA, including parent education, workshops, and school district or borough initiatives. Proceeds from fundraisers must be used to supplement or complement the educational, social, and cultural programs. On a case-by-case basis, the Chancellor may permit President's Councils to raise funds for humanitarian causes. So if it's not, so basically you're raising money for a reason. If your budget is not noted, let's say you decide to have a gala and it's not in your budget, your approved budget, you must bring that to the membership and get that approved before being able to have this gala. That gala must reflect whatever it is that you're raising the money for. Plans for all fundraising activities conducted by PTA must be approved by their membership during a regularly scheduled meeting. So again, everything must be approved by membership. If you don't, it is a violation of the regulation. So again, if it's not in your budget approved already, then you must have it approved. There is a fundraising activity report that must be completed. So make sure you complete that fundraising activity report. And it should be given to, a copy should be given to the principal no more than 5 days after the event. It must show, your membership must see it. If we do have copies of all these forms, so if anybody needs a template, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm not sure who's taking grievances versus complaints.
There's Ashley.
Ashley.
Okay.
We were going over it while you were doing it. Sorry. Okay, grievances and complaints. So I'm warning you now, I'm zooming through this because we are a little, pressed for time. I will still speak clearly. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. So grievances are for elections only. Complaints are for everything other than elections. Election grievances. Individuals who believe an election was conducted improperly may submit an election grievance to the appropriate superintendent's office with a copy to FACE sent to election grievances at schools.nyc.gov and the appropriate President's Council. Election grievances in schools spanning multiple grade levels, example K through 12 or 6 through 12, must be filed with the superintendent who supervises the school regardless of grade level and shall be decided by that superintendent. Because it is important for the functioning of PA-PTAs that election results be determined with finality in a timely manner, the rules applicable to election grievances are different from those that apply to other complaints and disputes. Election grievances must be submitted and will be responded to in writing in a timely manner as defined in this regulation. Next, grievances will be sustained only if there is a specific and material violation of either this regulation or the PA-PTA's bylaws. 1. Filing an election grievance. All election grievances must be submitted in writing and must state the name of the complaint or complaints and include a telephone number or email address where they may be contacted. Anonymous complaints and in-person or telephone complaints will not be accepted. Must be submitted no later than 5 days after the election meeting or announcement of results if later. Must allege a specific material violation of this regulation or of the PA-PTA's bylaws. 2. Election grievance decision. No later than 10 days after receiving the grievance, the superintendent will issue either a written decision or a notification that the grievances have been referred to FACE. The superintendent may request assistance from the appropriate President's Council in investigating the election or rendering a decision. Next, appeal of election grievance decisions. Decisions of the superintendent may be appealed to FACE. Appeals must be submitted in writing no later than 5 days after the decision. FACE will, within 5 days of receiving the appeal, issue a letter affirming, reversing, or modifying the superintendent's decision. Grounds for reversal modifications are limited to a mistaken interpretation of this regulation or the PAPTA's bylaws, failure to follow the grievance procedures outlined in this regulation, new information becoming available that was not available at the time the superintendent rendered his or her decision. The decision of FACE is final and binding. All decisions will be made available to the public upon request. When appropriate, personally identifiable information will be deleted from issued decisions. Any questions so far on that? Awesome. So if you do, well, I'm going to continue. If you do, please put it in the chat. Grievances are for elections only. Okay, I said that. Okay, complaints. Corrective and disciplinary action. While self-determination is essential to the functioning of PAPTAs and President's Council, there are circumstances that require corrective or disciplinary action for their protection. Corrective or disciplinary action is appropriate when a PA, PTA, or President's Council members conduct, violates laws, policies, rules, and regulations, or threatens the rights of students, parents, and staff. This conduct may include criminal wrongdoing or misconduct that was shared on November 18, 2021. Complaints or allegations of criminal wrongdoing must be reported to the police, the Special Commissioner of Investigation for New York City School Districts, and FACE. Allegations of criminal wrongdoing and misconduct must be reported to SCI for that office's review and for whatever action it deemed appropriate, including possible referral to DOE's Office of Special Investigations. You can contact SCI at 212-510-1500. Allegations of misconduct which do not involve panel law must be reported to SCI and FACE. PA, PTA, or President's Council members under investigation by officers of the law may be removed from PA, PTA, or President's Council office and prohibited from subsequently serving on any PA, PTA, or President's Council exec board, school or district leadership team, school or district Title I, Parent Advisory Council, CEC, CCSE, CCHS, CCELL, or D75 Council. Decisions to remove officers and restrict future service will be determined on a case-by-case basis by the Chancellor or the Chancellor's designee. Next, final discrepancies or wrongdoing complaints or allegations of final wrongdoing must be reported to the police, SCI, and FACE. FACE may recommend specific action and suspend fundraising activities of PAPTAs and President's Council where members are found responsible for financial discrepancies, financial wrongdoing, inappropriate financial practices, reckless or failure to safeguard PAPTA or President's Council funds. PAPTA or President's Council members engaging in such conduct may be removed from PAPTA President's Council office and prohibited from subsequently serving on any PAPTA President's Council exec board, school, or district leadership team, school, or district Title I Parent Advisory Council, CC, CCSE, CCHS, CCELL, or D75 Council. Decisions to remove officers and restrict future service will be determined on a case-by-case basis by the Chancellor or the Chancellor's designee. Lastly, threat or risk to other complaints or allegations of threatening behavior by a PA, PTA, or President's Council officer must be reported to the police, SCI, and FACE. PA, PTA, or President's Council members who conduct presence a threat or risk to members of the school, district, or borough community may be removed from the PA, PTA, or President's Council office. This includes frequent verbal abuse and unnecessary aggressive speech during meetings, which serves to intimidate and cause others to have concern for their personal safety. PA, PTA, or President's Council members who have been removed from office for their conduct may be prohibited from subsequently serving on any councils. I'm going to say councils because I'm not going to go through the whole list. I said the whole list like 3 times. I think you guys got that. By decision of the Chancellor or the Chancellor's designee on a case-by-case basis. Any questions so far? No. Okay. I like I said, I'm zooming through this, so if you have any questions, put it in the chat. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And thank you for still being here. Officer negligence, PA, PTA, or President's Council officers found to be negligent in their duties and responsibilities as outlined in the bylaws or this regulation are subject to removal. The PA, PTA, or President's Council bylaws must include a mechanism for the removal of officers for negligence. EV conflict of interest, PA, PTA, or President's Council officers who have conflict of interest as defined in Section ID3C or Section 2B2B are subject to removal from office if they fail to obtain a waiver from the DOE ethics officer. Decisions to remove officers will be determined on a case-by-case basis by the Chancellor or the Chancellor's designee. Next, dispute resolution process. A PA, PTA, and President's Council disputes, PA, PTA, President, and President's Council may agree to alternative dispute resolution processes, provided that all agreements reached are in accordance with applicable laws, policies, rules, and regulations. As autonomous and self-governing organizations, PA, PTAs, and President's Council are responsible for resolving their own disputes. 1. Disputes between PA, PTA members. PA, PTAs must attempt to resolve disputes internally. Their disputes include differences of opinion or disagreements that have been bearing on the PA, PTA affairs or functioning. Those members alleging a violation of this regulation or the bylaws must do so during a general membership or special membership meeting. And you can see that in section IJ1C. Excuse me, the PA, PTA general membership must discuss the alleged violation and vote on the appropriate resolution. If the matter cannot be resolved internally, the PA, PTA must request assistance in writing from the appropriate President's Council. And you can see that in section VB. Number 2, disputes between President's Council members, President's Councils must attempt to resolve disputes internally. Those disputes include differences of opinion or disagreements that have bearing on President's Council affairs or functioning. A President's Council member alleging a violation of this regulation or the bylaws must do so during a general membership or special membership meeting. The President's Council general membership must discuss the alleged violation and vote on an appropriate resolution. If the matter cannot be resolved internally, the President's Council must request assistance assistance in writing from FACE or the appropriate superintendent. You can also see that in section VB. 3, disputes between PAPTA or President's Council members and DOE employees to file a complaint against a DOE employee. PAPTA or President's Council members must follow the process outlined in the New York City DOE parent complaint and resolution procedures. They are available on the website. The website is in the slide. And then it says allegations of criminal wrongdoing or misconduct against a DOE employee must be reported to SCI. And I'll share the number again. It's 212-510-1500. And that is it for me. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I hope that was clear. And sorry for going through it so fast. I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. So go ahead, Randy. Thank you.
Okay. So again, you're not alone. If you need help, CPAC is here to help you. All the slides basically that you saw today, referring to President's Council, are also interchangeable to PAPTAs. So if you were doing a training at your President's Council for your PAPTA president, PAPTA presidents, this would be the same information shared, except for you wouldn't be referring them from President's Council to CPAC. It would be from PAPTA to President's Council. So they're interchangeable. Does anyone have any questions? These are the FLCs for all the districts. If they're not, if you might have a new one, please let us know so we can update this. But if you see an asterisk, it's the family support coordinator if they don't have an FLC. We actually have for Brooklyn High School, Brooklyn North, we have the executive director who is absolutely amazing. So there's always support from your superintendent's office. And it's Q&A. So I will stop sharing my screen. And thank you for everyone who's still here. No questions?
You want to put the slide back for the superintendents for the different boroughs? They're Barry. So I wanted to have can you put it back? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, which one you said?
Oh yeah. So for Manhattan high schools, we don't have just one superintendent that we work with. We have different ones, and all of them are super amazing. So just wanted to again remind everyone, you work with all of them. You work with all your superintendents. For the Bronx, you have to. For Brooklyn, you have to. For Queens, you have to. But we all work together. We all work together because I also have Brooklyn, and I also have Queens, and I also have Consortium, CUNY, New Vision. So like we all work together. So just wanted to reiterate this information to everyone. And the slides will be sent out, and we'll also do another training maybe in the coming months. With that, I think we're good. There are no questions in the chat as far as I saw. And we are adjourning at 11:55 a.m. Yes, and if you have any questions, please reach us via email. You can also reach out to Anthony. We work together with Faith. And everyone have a great rest of your morning, which is 4 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you September 11th. Thank you. Thank you.